Yo, what's up, mommy?
What's good, G?
Where you from?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, you from Portland? Nice one.
I'm bi, but that's about it.
You bi? What? Who you
I'm like
date?
the bi-in bitch.
Who you dating right now?
Yeah. I'm dating a straight white man.
Is that right?
I'm dating a straight white man. Shoot me.
So are you?
Oh, I still have attraction for women,
Yeah.
but it's more of like, okay, I'm with someone who's within my preferential, like some people who I'm trying not to be very like what's the word? Like homophobic or offensive to anyone in it, any sort of way. Like those who are attracted to the female gender, there's a very differentiation of types.
Uh-huh.
Like for me, in instance, I'm more attracted to the femme lesbian, femme bisexual,
You
as
a
opposed
bottom?
to other lesbians who are more masculine or more. Yeah. What?
You a bottom?
Nah. Nah.
You a top?
Wrong image, man. Top with women, bottom with men.
Oh damn! So you be pursuing the females?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me about your hunting strategies?
Not really hunting. I wouldn't call it hunting in any sort of way. I would call it more pursuing.
Yeah, how do you pursue? Give me some advice here. Do you think pursuing straight women is the same as pursuing?
Like, are you trying to find a girl?
Yo, I'm always trying to find a girl.
The best advice I wish I had ever heard was do what you love to do and you'll find people that love to do it along with the way. So say you like going to bar, find a girl that's more into that experience. So with pursuing women, it's more about like compliment something that they can physically change themselves. So like compliment their hair, their outfit. Say you pursue a girl and you're like, hey, that top really looks nice. Like it. Don't say anything about her body, but more of like, hey, that top looks really nice on you. I think that color really suits you. If she's like, okay, thanks, that's it. That's all you get. Don't try to follow it up with like, let me see it off you. Like that. Hey, that color really suits you. And she's like, oh, thanks. Before she gives you like the okay, thanks, as in if her eyes go wide, back away. But if they're like, oh yeah, I got it from A, B, or C, you have an open-ended question. You can get into that conversation where you can start talking about yourself. But if she's like, thanks, that means back the fuck off.
I've seen many of those.
I mean, like, women are constantly on the defense. Constantly. Especially, like, other girls like me who like true crime, they're always gonna be like, nah, nothing. Thanks, but no.
Oh yeah. I know about that.
But if you give a compliment, if you compliment a girl, make sure you're a respectable amount of distance, unless it's in a club and you can't hear shit. Lean in with your head, not with your chest.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a big red sign.
You're like
for the day. Lean in with your head.
You sound like a dating coach. You should be a dating coach if you're not one.
I'm really not. I want to go into tattooing. So who am I?
You could do so many things. You could be a bartender, a tattoo artist, a dating coach, all those things. Motivational speaker.
That's why I go. That's why I go on omegle, man. Giving advice where it's not needed or asked for.
Hey, there's too many lunatics on here, though.
Cold approach is about how you meet anyone in this world. It's like, you never know about what... The best way I can, like, navigate through a cold approach is, like, find a common ground. Like, say, I'm wearing an anime shirt right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really good cold approach. Or, say you're at a bar,
Right.
say, hey, what do you like to drink? And offer that person a drink. However, I will say, make sure that you're at the bar for that.
Yeah.
In retrospect of it, because girls are constantly on guard. We are taught from a very young age to be on guard.
Yeah.
So make sure the bartender is handing her drink.
Right.
Because if you, like, come over there with the, like,
they're gonna
2
think
hands
you
full of
slipped
drinks,
something in it.
they're gonna think that they're roofied. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up, paranoia runs deep within females.
Yeah.
But there's always gonna be a cold approach. But there's always gonna be, like, a less cold approach, but it's still nonetheless a cold approach. Say, like, hey, can I follow you on Instagram? Or, hey, can I follow you on Twitter? Because it's a very generalized point of view. Or say, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Because girls travel in packs, they're like wolves. So say, how is your night going? Make very general-ass questions. And how they respond is going to be your either gateway in or a time for you to dip. If they're like, oh yeah, we're going to go to this bar and this bar, and they give specific locations, they're more inviting. However, if they're like, oh, yep, we're just going to go home right after this. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going home. If they're already schmacked at that bar, that means please don't follow me to this next bar. Or please don't harass me at A, B, or C. And trying to get you away from that. However, the common key signs for women being inviting, specific locations, and specific names, specific A, B, or C. Specificity is going to be the key to you getting in there.
Yeah.
But cold approaches, it's a very hit and miss. It's always going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
But yes, women are constantly looking for familiarity. So, but if a girl looks at you like this, kind of looking side to side, she's looking for an out. If she's more looking like up and down, trying to evaluate you, which is very cold-hearted of women to say, but it is true. They're going to look you up and down and make sure that you have something nice about you, something that they can make a conversation out of. Because women are just as nervous as men when talking to each other. That's just a common fact. I know there's a giant generalization that men are always going to be more afraid to talk to women, but we're just as equally afraid, but we're going to be afraid on different levels. So say she's looking around, like she's trying to figure out what she's going to say next. And same thing with looking down. They might be shy, more reserved. They're going to look down because they don't know what to say to you. And especially if you pair that with, like, putting the hair up, is like kind of look at the ground, give a more sympathetic look. A more look down at the ground, kind of not play with your hands. It's like overly aggressive, but like a little bit like this. Put your hands in your pocket, take them out. Kind of move around with your body a little much, and it kind of helps. Like, say you have something in your hands, like a little tilt will give a world of a difference.
Yeah.
But make sure that you're looking at the ground, so that make sure that you show that you're nervous but are sincere. I studied psychology, and I was able to understand body cues, especially if you're like me and we're putting in a very traumatic situation when you're young, you're very susceptible to body language, body cues, and physical reactions. So it's important for men who are trying to, I don't care if you're getting pussy for the night, I don't care if you're in it for the long haul. No matter what, you have to pay attention to body cues because that's going to be your saving grace there. Yeah. First eye contact is where a woman kind of makes her decision make or break. And it's not necessarily the eye contact itself, it's more of how you look away. So I would say break away first to not seem like A, you're desperate, or B, that you're creepy. So say you make eye contact with me right away, the best thing that you would do is look away, look back at what you're doing, smile a little bit, and then kind of give a side eye. That's going to be your best key there. If she's not looking back on that side eye, you're out. If she is, then that's going to be your game. But if she's busy with something, like say she's working or say she's doing A, B, or C, give it a few minutes. Like, perfect example, you guys are walking on the opposite sides of the street. That little side eye, because she's automatically going to look back. Whether you like it or not, she's automatically going to look back. It's just a matter of if you have a inviting look to you as opposed to a very creepy look. So, like, looking back like this with a little bit of a smile is going to look a lot different than this. But women are naturally drawn to body cues. And that's why women and men have a hard time communicating with each other. Where a woman will say, like, you haven't given me affection all day, or you haven't done this or this or this all day. Where a man is just going around his life. Because men are very simple creatures, women are very complex.
Wait, do you think, like, you said there's different...
simplicity to come...
You said there's different kinds of eye contact. I mean, would a woman that's disgusted with me still look back at me a second time? Can there be like two looks of disgust? Because I'm bad at reading like body language.
She is going to look back on you if she's attentive to you. So no matter if you're creepy or if you're good looking, she's going to take attention. Because she's going to look back and like, oh, are they following me? Or, oh, is he looking at my ass? Kind of language. And the best way that you can do with that, if she looks at you the first way kind of disgusted or very off-putted, the more white of their eyes that you can see, because there's difference between this or like the somber puppy dog look. If she looks at you, we're going to go with the same street analogy. If she looks at you like this, she's suspicious. If she looks at you more of like this and her chin is more tucked down, she's curious. Because as humans, we have a natural curiosity. But curious is very different than suspicious. The more white that you see above her eye is going to be the sign of, I'm suspicious, I don't feel safe. Nevertheless, along with that same eye contact, if they come over and like reach for their girlfriend or like kind of drift towards a safer place, that means they're more like suspicious or cautious. However, if they lean more towards you, they're going to be more like, okay, what was that guy's deal?
You're so good at explaining all these things. You know, I make videos. I make hundreds of videos asking people these same questions. And very few of them are able to actually, you know, explain it the way that you do. With the dramatization as well. Because, you know, sometimes I'll say, well, what's a creepy... Like, people, I'll ask them like, oh, can I approach a random woman on the street? And she'll be like, yeah, just don't be creepy about it. And I was like, so show me creepy then. And almost nobody can actually show me creepy. I'm like, so what does a creepy guy even sound like? Can you show me? What does a creepy guy sound like?
So, a creepy...
Yeah.
it's kind of the same way for women and men, because creepy guys look at you more of like, my eyes are on you because I feel like I can obtain you, which more appreciates the under eye. Like, if you have naturally baggy eyes, it's going to be a lot worse for you. So say you have baggier eyes, keep your chin up, not in a snootish way, but more of like, I acknowledge you as a person. But if your eyes are more down and we can see more of your eyelids, it's going to be more of a safer bet. So a guy looking at you like this is going to be a lot different than a guy looking at you like this, because that makes us women like feel more adored, more beautified than someone looking at an object which is straight down, like, I'm gonna pick it up, than someone who has softer eyes and be able to relax the muscles in your face, be able to kind of, the best way I can describe it for any man that's trying to look at a woman in a very pleasing way is look at them not like a piece of art, because I feel like men tend to look at art kind of like, oh wow, I need to understand every single detail, as opposed to look at your grandmother doing something nice for your family, which is more of the softer, soft smile. The best thing that you can do for yourself is give yourself softer features, which is more of like a light glimmer as opposed to full on.
Yeah, I did that. I did the good one, the good smile, a couple of days ago.
Like the more.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that's what I did. And she looked back at me twice, but I didn't make a move because, like, honestly, you know, and that was gonna be one of my other questions is, how do you chase a girl down without looking desperate? Because she was walking her dog. She was on the opposite side of the street. And she looked back at me twice. I was smiling before she even looked at me. So by the time she looked at me, I was already smiling, and I made eye contact with her. And then I was still smiling. I mean, and then she looked back at me again, and then she kept walking with the dog. But I mean, I wanted to chase her down, but at the same time, I didn't want to look desperate, so I never did anything. So how do I exactly chase a girl down without looking desperate?
Unfortunately, like, although this is creepy, as long as you not disclose this information to, like, the woman that you futurely date or future talk to, is kind of look at where they're walking. If, say that person had a dog, is there a park in the direction that they're walking? Or is there a coffee shop that in the way that they're walking? If so, cool, visit that place today. You don't want to be there right the next day, because then it's gonna look weird. Excuse me. But it's more of coincidence, and that's the unfortunate truth. But I would not recommend, like, that girl walking with her dog. Don't, like, sprint across the way and do that whole spiel. That's only for romantic comedies. Do not follow romantic comedies at any place or point. Those are the worst examples of romance or liking someone else. It's a very gradual thing for real life experiences.
So the only thing I can do is let her go.
Although it may be creepy, unfortunately, yes. And that's where, like, it comes in, and that's where religion comes in, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, you already got your foot in the door. And that's the unfortunate thing. Your foot may be in multiple doors. But at the end of the day, whatever's true is going to come out of you. And you're going to take your feet out of all of those doors that are stuck. But the best way is, like, give them, this is weird, and women do it. I'm not discounting any of my friends. I'm not discounting any of my friends, family, so on and so forth. We looking for any identifiable identifiable features. So, like, give them a subtle wave or give them a subtle hello. Not one that's gonna be like, hi, I'm gonna creep you out for the next 6 months. But that's the unfortunate truth. You're gonna have to let them go in the long run. Not in the short run area. There's only so many people. And although men and women will be like, oh my god, there's like 1,000 people in this city, you still have the odds of running into that person again. And that's where like fate comes in and all that mumbo jumbo.
I would. That's the thing, though. I wouldn't recognize this woman if I saw her again.
and that's where like that at first meeting is going to be your crucial. It's like recognize the color of, like, say, hey, she has a colored scarf, or that dog has a red collar, or find something identifiable that you can psychology. It's the same aspect of people using like, oh, I can't remember her name, but I met her through the doorway, so her name is Doris.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate truth. Is but there are different tactics that you can do to see her again. To me, if it's like say that incident where like I saw you on the street, I thought you were attractive, and I was like, ah, shoot. Like, I won't see that person again, but that made my day. It's like, it's, oh, I haven't seen you on this part of town before. It's very generalized. So, I haven't seen you on this side of me before, and she's gonna be very suspicious. That's the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me, whatever. Women are naturally gonna be suspicious, no matter what you talk to them about. So say, like, you run into this person again, say, hi, how are you? Like, general pleasantries, but tie something to that event. Look around and be like, oh, have you been to this building before? Or have, like, I was walking around this area. Like, make a very generalized statement to where she's able to link it to. As opposed to, like, hey, I saw you walking your dog. It's more of like, yeah, I live in the area. I would love to explore more, because women are all about exploring. Whether no human being I have met in my area, across the country, across the world, has been like, oh yeah, I don't want to see that place, unless like it's in that situation where you don't see her again. Like, of course, a subtle wave is going to be a nice help, but like, tip your fingers slightly and like, hey, come over here, but not like, hey, come here. She's going to look into it. She's going to be like, oh, maybe I should cross the street to go meet that guy. If she takes it, cool, you're in the door. You're fucking past the welcome mat. But if she just kind of goes off about her business, she's going to continue about her business.
So
it's a very, very cautious world out there, and I don't know how the fuck these, like, I don't know what to call them, like, special speakers say, like, oh, I can get you any girl that you want. No. I can only get you the women that seem attracted to you, and I can give you the tools to understand them a little bit more. However, I can't give you the way to bag every single woman.
If you've seen a friend that you've known for 5 years, and you walk up to them, you're going to say, hey, so you're not going away for Labor Day weekend? That's something you would say to someone that you've known for a long time and that you're friends with. Do you think that that is a wrong approach to take when you're approaching a woman that you've never seen before in your life?
So you're not going away for Labor Day. Is more of like, so I've seen what you're doing, and that's like, make it more generalized, because no matter what, a woman is going to treat you like a stranger.
Yeah.
So even if they're your closest friend, they will sometimes treat you like a stranger.
Yeah.
Because we've been trained to not deal with anyone except strangers.
Right.
But don't give the over-friendly approach. I would say, how are you doing? Are you, hold on. The best way, how's your Labor Day weekend going?
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, you're not going away for this Labor Day, which is more like, I know what day it is. I know what you should be doing, which comes off more threatening as opposed to, how are you doing this Labor Day weekend?
Yes.
Which is very generalized. And girls forget a lot of things, especially holidays. So say you're coming up to another 25-year-old, they might not even recognize that it's Labor Day weekend. Right. But if it's like a child, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm off school. Anyways. Uh-huh. But it's more of, how are you doing?
Yeah.
This A, B, or C. And I say that is going to be one of your biggest keys, is saying, how are you doing this? Mark an occasion, mark this event, mark this place. So how are you doing this evening?
Yeah.
It's a very welcoming thing. So treat it like your server and like your waiter, and she's a customer. Right. That's the best way I can describe it for any man. I think it's a problem with big social media accounts like Omegle is a very good example. If you were able to say, like, how are you doing this evening? It's a very, like, generalized approach on Omegle, on social media, on a very, like, crowded way. However, in real life, it is a little bit more complex because those body cues come more into play. So say you were chatting with someone on Omegle and you didn't have your video cam on or your voice on. On Omegle or on any social media, you're going to get a lot farther along than you will in real life. That's why these keys are more able to unlock more doors on social sites or chat rooms than in real life, because it's all about the approach, it's about the construct, because, like I said, body cues are a huge thing when it comes to real life. And it depends on your setting. You can't just walk up to someone on the street and say, how are you doing today? Because they'd be like, I don't know, good, get out of my face. Yeah. But those open-ended questions are going to be very crucial into meeting someone in real life. It's like, keep them engaged, keep them excited, as opposed to Snapchat, Omegle, where you can be like, how are you doing, where are you from, A, B, or C. But in real life, the best way I can help men, women, they, them, talk to people is be engaged, act engaged. If you're sitting all the way back here, like, they're going to think you're uninterested. Or if you're sitting up front or leaning over, that's going to make you seem too interested. Like, body posture is a huge thing. How you conduct yourself is going to be more crucial than what you say.